My goal is to be 1% better every day, and I think I'm hitting my starts. So let's take a look at it. Where we left off is our smart fridge planner here, jot form to JSON to relevance all the way to email. So great, it works, but where do we go from here? It just emails it to you. So that being said, let me show you a couple things I'm working on. So the first thing here is I've been getting a lot of ads for Base44, so I thought why not give it a try. So what I did was I went in here and then I gave it kind of a blurb about what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a kitchen co-pilot that essentially allows you to select your items, and it gives you your savings and it gives you your recipes based on that. So just taking that initial structure that I created and just expanding on it. So as you can see here, I wouldn't say this is like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's very basic. And while I was playing around with this program, I said, why can't I edit this? Why isn't my CSVs uploading? Why are some of these fonts just the way they are? And I just cannot click anything. So it looks really nice on like the front end, but honestly, when you're trying to develop this on the back end, it's an absolute nightmare. It's just stubborn, it's stuck, it's locked, it's not detailed. There's not a lot, it's not user friendly. Long story short, it's just not user friendly. And so I will give it this, for the first initial look, it's not bad for AI, because here's the thing I found out as well, or not found out, but realized that if it's easy, everyone would do it. And this isn't easy. So you know what, I give kudos for having a vision and kind of getting this started, but I just don't think Base44 is there yet. So with that being said, I went back to Wix, and this is what I have so far. So I took my smart fridge planner and I kind of spun it up, and I said, I think it needs a very clear name. So I went ahead and I gave it the name Eat at Home. And this tagline I absolutely love. This is like homegrown, reminds me of my parents, but the idea of we have food at home, right? Flex on saving, your pantry's got game. So who has not heard of this or has said this to themselves while they're at like Taco Bell, right? Like it's that like impending doom or like guilt of buying food or spending money that you don't need to spend when you just have food at home, or let's say you have food at home and it's just gonna go bad and you just bought something impulsively and now you're like, shoot, I have to eat that. So this is kind of where I started. I thought of this like nostalgia, this like brown bag meal. Where was I when I was like 10 years old and wanting to have my mom buy me McDonald's? So I created some really fun copy here. Your fridge called, it's ready to party. Your fridge isn't empty, it's full of possibilities. Eat at home. So with that being said, this is kind of where I'm at. I have a couple pages on here. Pick your ingredients is really just like an amplified version of the initial jot form I created. So this I've hit my head so many times on today, but I'll show you how it works. Essentially, you go in here and then you select your proteins, and then you select your produce, just kind of like the jot form, right? Your pantry staples, and then you hit create my recipes here at the bottom. And essentially, it'll have a pop up window that says, based on these ingredients that you have in your fridge, these are the recipes that we recommend. And there's also going to be a button that you're able to click that adds it to your Google Calendar. And it's not just going to add to your Google Calendar that says, like, this is what you're eating today. It's actually going to give you times and suggestions on when to start marinating, when to start prepping the onions and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool in concept, but I'm just not there yet. But that is where my head is at, and I'm going. So with that being said, I worked on the homepage, I worked on the picking your ingredients page, and of course my about me as well. This project is just, again, a fun passion project that I've been working on because I really want to get this stuff automated. So recipes will be updated weekly on its own. All the stuff's going to get automated, and everything's going to be refreshed. It's going to auto post to a bunch of my socials. But till then, I gotta put in the elbow grease. So with that being said, I really like this project, and I get so excited about talking about it because it really combines two things that I love: autonomy and cooking. So if you like this and you're interested, or you just think it's a cool concept, or I haven't seen you in a while, you just want to see my face, feel free to follow along with my journey, and I will keep all of us posted. Thank you.